got a notification on my phone that Donnie O'Malley started a live stream. You guys don't know who Donnie O'Malley is. There is a streaming service out there. It's called Vet TV. It's actually really good. Well, I mean, it's not really good if you're a vet or if you are serving in the armed forces. It's on point. It's really good. It's pretty much it's a service that caters to veterans, guys like me, and it has pretty dark humor on there. Like, you'd have to be in that service, in that field, in order to get it. Like, it's broken down by service. They have Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard. I don't think they have Coast Guard. Air Force, Navy, Marines, Army, and there are a series of shows and comedy segments that are broken down into those related fields. And Donnie O'Malley is an ex-Marine captain who put the whole thing together. And it's actually pretty, like, if you're a vet, it's only like $5 a month. But it is some darkly hilarious stuff. Like, you know, civilians, they make jokes and they're like, oh, this is so funny, but ooh, hoo, hoo, you know, I'm going to hell for this. You have no idea. Like, combat soldiers and ex-Marines, dude, the jokes they make and the things that are funny to them, like, you'd be like, you just calm down. Like, you're a little too, but, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, that's the guy, Donnie O'Malley. He was going live. I actually follow him and a couple of the other guys from Vet TV on Instagram. Some of the guys are really funny. They remind me of me when I was in. The thing about it is they'll have actors that will play different roles on different shows, and they're the same actors because it's a small thing. You know, I think they crowdsource in order to fund what they're doing, and so you can only get so many people, but they're all the same, and they play different character types, and they're pretty funny, man. And the whole thing is done with the premise or the idea that if you're a vet, you know, you check on your buddies, you check on those that have served, or you check on your veteran friends, because, you know, vets, when they come back after they've seen combat, they're a little messed up. And, you know, I get it. You know, you have a whole brother's keeper thing, which people just don't understand. You know, you're either a Blue Falcon or, you know, you're a battle buddy. You keep track of your pals. And it doesn't, you know, it doesn't make sense to people sometimes. Like, if you've never served, it just doesn't make sense. You're like, well, that guy's messed up. You know, why should I get involved? Because he's a human being. And, you know, they're there but for the grace of God. You know? But the whole premise of Vet TV is that you watch these shows, you laugh at the stuff that's, like, incredibly sick, because it's a pressure release, you know? I tell people all the time, hey, if I don't laugh, I'll cry, right? So they tell me a lot. Well, a lot of people tell me, you have a really high threshold. Like, you can deal with a lot. You just handle it so well. No, I don't. I don't handle it well at all. That's what all this sarcasm is, and that's what all the dark jokes and me actually holding my ground and telling people to go F themselves. So, on to what I'm here for, which is the cartoons. Now, what I'm working on here is that third page from an Alex, like I was working on last night. Now, I think, just as the wife came home, I think I downloaded some brushes, and they were explosions. They were explosion brushes. So, let me show you how that came out. There we go. That's how that came out. What I did was I used 2 of the explosion brushes, and I made a little bit of an explosion there. Go to inks. And, you know, I added some drama to it, and I took an eraser and pulled some stuff out. And took an ink pen and threw some stuff in there. And now I'm taking a little pastel, and I'm giving some of the explosion clouds a little bit more texture. It's a little more character. See, I think against the backdrop of the cartoony style that I have, that just a little bit of texture would add drama, and it would look pretty good. Do I have my halftones turned on? I do not. There we go. That is how that panel wound up turning out. Now what I'm working on here. Oh yeah. Here, let's show you guys how this page is looking so far, because I did do a couple more panels. It's powering up the sword. He uses that power to launch like this flame attack at Manalix. Manalix sees it, and he reacts. He swings the sword and uses the sword to create like an air shield and protect himself. And in this panel here, you see the green elfy guy, I forget what his name is, the green Nephrops or something like that, but he jumps up and he's about to attack. But he rises above Manalix, who is on the ground, which has been scorched, and then he comes down driving his foot, which that's going to have to show a little bit better. And meet in the air, there's an explosion, they fall, green guy lands skillfully. Manalix is overpowered, winds up landing on his face. The green guy walks over to him real cocky like he's about to dish out some street justice. I just noticed some stuff here. I just noticed that sword shouldn't really look like that. It shouldn't. It's not metallic. It's made out of oxygen. Let's pull out some of those lines and go to inks. What did I have? I think it was a watercolor brush. That was India. It was India ink. Wet chat? Wet chat dry. And this time, and that's what I was using to kind of indicate the inside to make it look like it was kind of a firm but flowing. And what's going to happen is you do a color hold on that and make it glow a little green. It's going to look good. Like that. Okay, so here, what I need to do is switch, go to sketch layer, and I need to make sure that everybody kind of sees the face. I'll put this half tone out. I need to make sure that everybody kind of sees the face because it's imperative that everybody sees what he looks like. Trying to imagine what his face would look like if he lands like this, because it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be one of those landings where your teeth chatter, you know, where he hits the ground so hard his butthole puckers. If you ever hit the ground hard, you'll know what I'm talking about. You're like, oh my god, I think I'm gonna die. You hit so hard that you're like, oh, I think I pooped. It's not defecation humor. But you know what? So what? Nothing wrong with pooping yourself. So I need to keep this in mind. I need to keep that flow in mind. Anatomy. Oops. Got some butt showing. What are you doing showing his butt? People are going to think things. So, he's got these stripes there. Okay, so inks, switch over to that dark color. Now we're going to leave the bottom open because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show drama, like the drama of him hitting the ground. I'm going to do a little shaky lines in there. So bring that in. Just like that. Start here, get thick as you come down to the base of the hand. I mean, he's supposed to be wearing some armor, so I would assume that in that he's wearing armor, his fingers aren't out of gloves. I'm sure they can, but I want them to be in gloves because it's part of his uniform, more or less. So I'm going to square off the tips. So it looks glove-like, like that. What? Okay, I got that. This is going to be a lot of forced perspective, so it's going to look really hinky. I'm going to look at this and be like, what? None of those lines make sense. It's not even how reality works. Hopefully when I color this, I can make it look right, you know? I'm sure I will. I've been doing okay so far. Sure. Okay, so there's that. There's another little forced perspective thing going on. Shoulder. I love that working digitally allows me to just make mistakes, but, you know, I get to make mistakes to the extent of what do I feel like cleaning up? That way, you know, See, it's odd when you're working with physical media. You have to concern yourself with cost of materials. You wonder, well, how much does this paper cost? How much am I going to have to spend if I'm buying more ink, if I'm buying more paper? Digital, you're like, oh man, how many times am I going to have to make my carpal tunnel syndrome flare up because I'm hitting Control Z? Or, you use your stylus to erase a line. And I mean, each media has its own merit. I don't want to poo on one or the other. There's that defecation stuff again. I don't want to, I don't want one to seem like it's better than the other. It's not. Everything has its own merits. With digital, it allows me to get better confidence lines, and it really allows me to practice with muscle memory, and it allows me to become a little bit more brave and doubt myself less. Because if I were doing this with regular brush and ink, I would be like, oh God, I'm so scared. Because to me, that's permanent. Like, my subconscious is worried about, oh man, that line's going to get down there. What's going to happen? Somebody's going to see it. It's not going to look right. Or the ink's going to dry, and then you'll have to clean it up, or you'll have to pay for more ink. It's just a waste of paper. There's so many thoughts, but digital, it's like, so? Just erase it, or Control Z. Okay, so he's got his little ear thing covered right there. And there's that. So where is the panel edge? It's right there. That purple line at the bottom, that's where the panel ends. Now remember, this works like a brush. The more pressure, thicker the line, the less pressure. It's now varying my pressure so that I can get different lines. So, and then this is going to wind up looking okay. It's not going to be masterful. I mean, I'm by no means a master. So, this, go here, start on that, go this way, there we go. See? It's just that simple. It's like a quick way of deleting a bunch of stuff. Just picture if I had taken a big brush with white on and just swashed along a rule. And then you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. Now we go to our sketch layer, swap colors, because we have to keep in mind. This is, we have to keep in mind that that goes like that. I'm using my phone again to proof what I'm doing, and it just kind of blanked out. It just was like, sorry, you're not online, which I know I am. So I have to think about the anatomy of a head, and I have to think about how I want this to be. So he's gonna be like that, with his eyes kind of closed. And then it's that. Like that. Oh, that looks so weak. I like it. Yes. Oh, Alright, go to my inks layer, swap. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, now when I zoom out, you'll see what I just did. And that's the race tool. We need this. You'll see what I just did. And actually, you know what? Let's turn off sketch layer. So we can go to inks. We can throw a little bit of hair in there. Oh, that's passed out. For a strand or two of hair in there. Now put this sketch layer back on, and you see what you see. Now I get it. Wow, Ed, that looks a little weird. Yes, it does. But you have to remember, this guy's getting slammed into the ground. So it's going to come across as a little weird. Zoom back out. Do this. Oh, wait a second. Now I need to do something a little bit logical. Okay? So, beginning of the story, he has his scabbard, the handle, more or less, for his sword is in his right shoulder. He has the one from the left. So as he lands, he is going to have this one. So, hope everybody's having a good day. I am exhausted because I've been working on stuff all day long. This, other stuff. I'm finishing up another book, which I have less than a panel to do. And that book's done. And I'm setting up another book, which I can't tell you guys about, but you're going to love it. It's pretty cool. I was working on an Alex here too. Like I think I've said this before, but I'll say it as many times as I need to. I will show you guys exactly what I can. You know, I have some things I do come with an NDA or a non-disclosure agreement, and I can't, in good conscience, show those to you because I'm a professional. You know, professional what? Hey, you. Non-disclosure agreement is legally binding. What it stipulates is that you won't do certain things. You won't disclose certain things. And in this case, the non-disclosure agreement says that I cannot talk about the project or market it. I can't release any information about it on social media. But once I can, I'm going to show you guys as much as possible. You're really going to like this. Me and the creator agree. It is going to be a project that everybody is going to look at it and they're just going to be like, wow, I can't believe I did this. Okay, so I gotta wait for my computer to catch up. If you guys see me scratching my nose, it's because my nose is itchy. In my room here, it's a little dry. Like we have baseboard heating, so my nose winds up getting a little itchy. Yeah, buddy. I just don't want you guys to think I'm doing stuff. Like, is Ed on the Peruvian marching powder? Is he doing stuff? Okay, so he is. Ugh, I don't like the way that one looked. Just like that. Nope. Alright, so the snap on it doesn't look too bad. I feel like I need to do something with the eyes. Like they don't look. They don't look as painful as I want them to. I mean, that's the way I feel. I know they're going to color up nice. I'm positive of that. And there's the edge of the knee that comes like this. This one goes around. That's this here. It's going into lines. Like when you're working in a kitchen. That. And there's going to be some tension because I want them. The one I feel is kind of martial arts pants. Like he can, you've seen them. Like you wear them in dojos and stuff, but they're durable. They flow. When you get a little bit too much tension on them, they let's go to page 1. When you get too much tension on them, they wind up just like that. Okay, they wind up bunching in certain spots. Look at that. That looks cool. Just like that. Actually, you know what? Let's just do that. Let's just make that happen. And I think I drew. Aren't you supposed to have this in your head? There is a shin cover, like not a shin cover. If you look at traditional Chinese military armor, there's a cover. Like there's a shin guard, and then there's a cover that goes over the flex point between the shin and the foot. So it's like there's a boot underneath, but there's a shin with a little flap. I want to keep that together, you know. grip in there. Remember what I said, you know, you want to, it's only what I want to erase. I don't want to erase them, so I drew it. And we go here. That's the ornamental decoration on the shin guard. Look at that. So let's zoom out a little bit. Let's see how we're looking so far. Now, you have to have a little bit of vision. You have to have a lot of vision. So we will turn on background. And the inks can go like 50 or so. Shut off the sketch, go to backgrounds. You know what? I think its background should go to 50. And inks should go to 100. And go to the backgrounds and get out that erase tool. You heard me. Do that. Slam its face right into the ground. Oh my goodness. My face is all slammy. Halftones? Don't mind if I do. Halftones. So, if you take a look at that, what is this? Looks like I got outside the lines. Motion lines, nope. Backgrounds, nope. Halftone. There we go. Okay. So I'm seeing that. I'm seeing a lot of stuff here. One halftone layer. I have to go here. That's good. Okay. The background is raised to 100%. Okay. I left this panel open, so there are usually reasons why you do it. And I think for this one I wanted it to feel open. so you could get the sense of him hitting the ground from a great height. Now, what do I do with this? Motion lines, and we go here. Brightness, not brightness. Dense, about scattered line. And I know what you're thinking, Ed, you're certainly using like a lot of those lines there. Yeah, and that just doesn't look right. So let's go here. See what I can get done here. I'm still trying to figure these out. Oh wow, no. That's not what I wanted. Control button. That's it. I think that works. Control D, apply layer mask, bring it down. We're on the motion lines layer. So let's get in here. We'll erase some stuff. Because we want Manalix to be the focal point and not the motion lines. The motion lines are cute, you know, they add accent to the panel, they add drama. But they're not the whole purpose of the panel. They're going to make you look at the action, which is Manalix crashing into the ground face first. And you're going to go, ooh, that really hurts. But you don't want to see just motion lines. You want to see a little bit of action. See, I want to make sure I'm doing the right things here. So I'm going back and I'm looking at things. Into the hair. Come on, catch up here. gotta wonder if I should go to the halftones layer and throw in some drama with a halftones brush. Make halftone dots too. Drop this down. Let's see how this goes. If this works out, I'll keep it in there. If it doesn't work out, I'll take it out. Because that's what you do. Happy accidents and all that stuff. Thanks, Bob Rose. One of the most difficult parts of doing this right now is paying attention to where the light source is. So in my head, it's coming from above, because they're outside. It's coming from above at an angle. Like that. And to the base of the shoe. This. Let's go back here and take a look. I mean, it looks solid, right? Ugh, except for the back. See his back? It doesn't have enough. Nice brush. I was hitting the wrong size, or the wrong tool. I wanted to make it larger, and there are a couple of quick keys you use to do that, and I was hitting the wrong keys. I was hitting like the P button, the P key, and that one is for the brush and the pen. There we go. Look at that. That's what makes me happy. Whiskers on kittens. Oops. So what is that? What layer is that on? Backgrounds? Backgrounds. So you don't have to put that in there. Cool. Go to inks. Do this. Check that out. So today is one of those days where I ate lunch and I haven't eaten dinner, tired, starving, haven't been taking good care of myself, but I have to. Nobody else is going to do it for me. Save this. How about we go over here? Okay, go on a sketch layer. This takes place in the gym. Everybody's chasing after one another. Oh, what are you guys doing? Oh, get back here. I'll kill you. Whatever. Whatever. Dude, this is yours. This is your book. Well, mine and Ben's. Hold on. You, lines, curves. See how thick this is. No, what did I do? That's what you did. You hit the wrong key. That's what happens when you're not paying attention. You haven't eaten like you should. So this book is a little different. It's very cartoony, very gestural. This one takes emotion and line work really well. Now, if anybody's worked on a speed bag before, you'll know that I'm really skipping a couple of pieces here. I think there's like a link or something in there. Speed bearing works. I know it works on a hinge, but I think it works on like a swivel based on a hinge. But it's I want to make sure that it looks realistic, even though it's a cartoon. But I don't want to go overboard. Why would I want to add a lot of shading and texture and stuff? It's just a cartoon. It needs to be down dirty and quick, and you need to look at it and get the impression that that's a speed bag, which is odd because the entire book is about bodybuilding, aliens in space. It's a really good book, though. I'm very, very happy with it. Black line, let's go one above. So what did I do for this guy? I give him a little wisp of hair. Okay. So this guy here. I'm going to give him antennas. How you like that? The aliens. Why not? The reason why I went to another layer is so that I can go above. And I can do what I want to do and not really worry about whether or not I'm going to intersect with stuff. Shut that off, don't stay off. We're going to come back to that. I promise you. What's his little mouth going to look like? Cool, right? So the great part about this is these aliens, they don't exist. I'm making them exist. I think these gloves in my head, I just based them on the Croc Masters gloves. If anybody is a G.I. Joe fan. I think he's the one. No, there was a G.I. Joe fight guy. He was a Cobra guy. It wasn't the Croc Master. He didn't have a shirt on. He had boxing gloves and a helmet. He was a Cobra guy. Can't remember who he was. Anyway, that's what I was basing on. Old G.I. Joe guy. Now we'll go to black lines. These two. Come in here and do this. Ta-da. Let's have this guy have like a weird shaped thorax with like really buggy looking legs. Why? No, just because. Big Boa. Yeah, that's his name. I knew it was like a snake something, like a snake name. Because they just, I guess, got bored with naming the G.I. Joes after a while. And they were just like, I don't know, call him Lou. Call him Lou. Yeah. Do you remember that G.I. Joe Lou? He was a good guy. Come with a coffee mug. Had to reboot, now I not sound. Oh, okay. Yeah, and plus sometimes, Tommy, I talk a little low. So we're going to zoom in, clean up some of these lines here. So what's going to happen is when the colorist gets a hold of these, a guy by the name of Alex Hoy, when he gets a hold of these, he's going to color holds, add depth, flat colors, whatever he's going to handle all that. He'll take care of it. Oh, where did I have a sprinkler, water fountain? Second place, issue 1 on the spread. There it is. Why? Because I am lazy. Yeah, the reason why there are all those little speckles and stuff is because those are scanned. Those pages are scanned from actual drawings. They're not digital, which is what I did with this issue, the last issue. I did it as digital, and that was just silly. That just does. Why did I do that? That just it's a perspective zone. So why don't I just do this? Put a U. We will do polylines. That's where we get to use our mouse. That, enter. Yeah, enter P. We'll hit the P button. We're not going to go P. This looks like there's a bucket under the desk here. Nope. That's a gross little. What? Let's go here. I've already made the note to myself, so we'll go. There we go, water fountain. In the gym. You know, it'd be great. Do I have a backgrounds layer? Let's go black lines. U, straight line. This can go like this. Run the risk of creating some tangents right there, but that's okay. Let's see what I'm doing in a minute here. Follow that line. Oof. What are you doing? There we go. Just to break up. There we go. Now they're at a gym. There's always mirrors on the wall at a gym. Thanks, Tommy. Okay. So, with that, it's 7 o'clock. I'm done. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Feel free to stop back tomorrow, same time. Have a good night.